He's a laughing stock. Bungling Hammond is lashed by Brexiteers after he apologises for calling the EU the enemy as he desperately tries to cling on to his job as Chancellor. Bungling Philip Hammond was branded a laughing stock by Brexiteers tonight after he issued a grovelling apology for branding the EU the enemy. The Chancellor dialed up the rhetoric against the bloc this afternoon, jibing that the Tories should be united in taking on their real opponents rather than turning their fire on each other. But in an embarrassing climb down, he quickly took to Twitter to apologise for his choice of words. Mr. Hammond wrote, "In an interview today I was making the point that we are united at home. I regret I used a poor choice of words." In another message he added, "We will work with our friends and partners in the EU on a mutually beneficial Brexit deal #no enemies." The blunder capped a woeful week for the Chancellor, who was lambasted as an ear and faced calls to be sacked over his gloomy Brexit predictions. And it sparked fresh fury from Tory backbenchers who have been incensed at his half-hearted stance on Brexit. They suggested Mr. Hammond should now be on a final warning, with a crucial budget due to be unveiled within weeks. One MP told Mail Online, "He has been told he has got to row in behind Brexit and be enthusiastic. He has tried to do that and messed it up. He has made a total horlicks. It's bit of a laughing stock. It is not exactly competent." Confidence in the Chancellor will be diminished again on the backbenches, and it wasn't exactly high in the first place. The last budget was a total mess. He had better not make a hash of this one as well. Labour said the beleaguered Chancellor is acting like Basil Fawlty on holiday and said his words risk jeopardising Brexit talks. Mr. Hammond had used the language as he came out fighting to stay in his job at number 10 amid calls for him to be sacked over his gloomy Brexit predictions. But he faced the ire of Labour Shadow Chancellor John McDonnell, who accused him of overseeing an inept approach from a failing government. Peter Dowd MP, Labour's Shadow Chief Secretary to the Treasury, said, "These are foolish remarks by Philip Hammond, and reveal that he is clearly feeling the pressure from Tory MPs calling for him to be sacked. The tone of this rhetoric will obviously not unblock negotiations or help protect our economic interests. The Chancellor should be putting the country before the infighting in his own party when he is representing us overseas, and refrain from acting like Basil Fawlty on holiday. It is vital that these negotiations do not lead to a situation where Britain crashes out of the EU without a deal, risking jobs and living standards." Peter Bone, Tory MP for Wellingborough, told Mail Online, "I just think we need ministers to go out there and say what an opportunity and what a success Brexit is going to be. The only thing I would criticise the Chancellor for is that he has got to be a bit happier and a bit more upbeat about it. Perhaps he needs to take some happy pills. We do need ministers who believe in Brexit. We need them to go out there and sell the thing." Asked about Mr. Hammond's apology, Mr. Bone said, "This is where the Chancellor is going wrong. He was right. They are the enemy. They are trying to thwart Brexit, and that is exactly what the Chancellor should be saying, and well done to him for saying it. He shouldn't have apologised, he should have stuck to his guns." Mr. Bone said that as long the Chancellor has the PM's confidence, he will support him. Mr. Hammond had tried to use a round of broadcast interviews in the American capital to try to launch his political fight back amid mounting calls for him to be axed in the looming reshuffle. The Chancellor, who is expected to resist calls to go on a massive spending spree when he delivers the budget next month, said he will not quit and dismissed accusations he is talking down the economy as bizarre. He said that while passions are running high, his Tory party colleagues should unite rather than fire off accusations and threats against each other. And he fended off claims that deep cabinet divisions risk endangering Britain's hand in Brexit talks, insisting the government is united in getting the best possible deal. Asked what his message was to colleagues who have briefed against him and called for him to be axed, Mr. Hammond urged unity.